On smart speakers, say play WGN Chicago.
Period 2.
The second period is next. Here for a recap is Joe Brand.
Blackhawks trailing Minnesota 1-0 up at St. Paul, Minnesota. Joel Eriksson-Ek goal in the power play fashion. The difference in this one, before we get to that goal, the Hawks are trying to pick up their first win against the Wild in this preseason. Yes, it's their first game, but don't forget that these two teams matched up in the Prospect Showcase earlier this season, and the Wild actually took both of those games. Now, granted, those were a lot of the youngsters, a lot of the prospects, but still, I feel like Blackhawks may have headed in to Minnesota with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. That being said, if you take a look at the Blackhawks Twitter account, they shot a really cool picture of Kirby and Colton Dach walking onto the plane, and something along the lines of these family trips are getting a little different. Got a little bone to pick with the Dachs, though. A maroon and forest green suit each of them were wearing. I don't know if that was planned. I don't know, an intimidation factor of wearing the opposing team's colors, but yeah, they were decked out in Minnesota Wild colors. But obviously, Colton and Kirby Dach, Blackhawks through and through. I know their father is really thrilled that he's got two of his sons in one organization. We did see Colton Dach score last Saturday against the St. Louis Blues, and Kirby Dach got a little brotherly competitive with that. And had a tough pill to swallow, saying that Colton Dach was the better Dach that night. But we'll see what's in store for the two Dach brothers today. Once again, a goal by Joel Eriksson-Ek. It came on a Calvin DeHaan tripping penalty, and here's how it sounded up in St. Paul.
And Kaprizov. Now Zuccarello put it in front of Eriksson-Ek. He got an easy one. He scores. Lankin reacted to Zuccarello's shot that actually turned out to be more of a pass. Eriksson-Ek was standing about 3 feet from the Hawk net and caught that one. I mean, he basically could have closed his eyes and put that into the net. It's a power play goal and 1-0 Wild.
Time of the goal with 12:47 left in the first period. Assist by Kevin Fiala and Matt Zuccarello. Yeah, it was just pretty much the win of the face-off that helped Minnesota start that whole thing off. They just had some crisp, quick passing, some quick penetration, and then Eriksson-Ek was just right there on the doorstep, ready to slide it right past Kevin Lankin. And Lankin tested early on, again, in the power play fashion, but letting that one get through. A pretty solid first period, though, for Kevin Lankin, and a couple of other big stops. He had a total of 11 stops in the first period as Minnesota leads in the shots on goal right now, 12-8. But the Hawks trailing 1-0. They have coughed up now 5 straight shorthanded goals, giving up 4 power play goals to the Detroit Red Wings yesterday. So trying to improve that up at the XL Energy Center, but still some time left for the Hawks. And again, still the preseason game number 5. So with that, we'll send it back on over to John and Colby over at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. And guys, go ahead, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. Yeah, the teams are on the ice surface. Second period action just upcoming here. During the intermission, had an opportunity to walk down the aisle or the hallway here toward the press terrace, and normally they have pretzels with, maybe some cheese or something like that. Colby, tonight they went healthy. They had fruit, and I got a bowl full. It's pretty good.
I saw some ice cream, though, John. You're leaving out some details to the audience. I saw a little chocolate ice cream come back into the booth here. So let's, I don't know, maybe the wife's listening at home, and I'm throwing you under the bus a little bit, but...
Well, I'm looking at the contents, and
it's healthy ice cream.
Yeah.
It's organic, as they call it.
Right. Organic
ice cream.
5 grams of protein, man. I need to get my protein, so that works.
Protein ice cream. How about it?
All right, we're underway here in the second period, and the Wild control off the draw deep in their end. Dumba, the near corner, will take his time and work his way to his blue line. Hands the puck to Jonas Brodin, who does a little circle back in the Wild zone with the puck. And now Brodin passing up the left wing, Ryan Hartman. Hawk line deflects the puck down behind the net. Lankin leaves it there. McCabe tried to stroke it out of the zone. It ends up in the near corner. Polino put it back behind the Hawk net. And now McCabe in the near corner will wrist the puck up the left wing to Borgstrom. There's the center ice to Dach. A 2-on-1 for the Hawks. To Hagel over the Wild line left wing. Tried to flip it in front. Great play defensively by Brodin to break up that pass. Hagel got it back behind the Wild net. Brodin reaching. Poke checks it away. Dumba to the near corner with the puck. They'll put it up the right side boards. Colton Dach had it for a moment for the Hawks. Had it swatted away, though, But down to the Hawk line it goes, and Riley Stillman will chip it ahead. This deflects off Dylan Strome, sticking down into the wild end. Dumba headman pass now to Kaprizov. In over the Hawk line, right wing. Did a little twist and turn, then lost the puck. Colby Dock the other way. In over the Hawk line to the left circle. Fans on a shot. Got it back. And from the corner, he'll spin it behind the net. Around it goes to the right wing side. There to get it, Dylan Strome. Down to Colton Dock along the right wing boards. Put it out to the right point. Calvin DeHaan had trouble keeping the puck in the Wild zone. Has to retreat to center ice. He'll hand it now to Dylan Strome short of the Wild blue line. He'll float the puck down in front of the Wild net. Alex Goligoski's got it there. He'll hold it as the team makes line changes. And a pass now from Goligoski ahead to center ice to Gaudreau. The Hawk line. He flips the puck deep into the Hawk end. Hardman will spin it behind the Hawk net. This eludes Stillman. Stillman then ended up getting it back and leaving the puck now. McCabe will put it around to Kara, to Stillman. Hawks looking a little disorganized here. Stillman firing a pass across the rink over in front of the benches intended for Mackenzie Entwistle. That deflects awry, and here come the Wild the other way. Boldy now to Fiala over the Hawk line down the right wing. Let go of backhand sailing over the net and up against the glass and around the boards it goes. Hardman battling over on the far side. Hooks the puck to the line. Kept in by Boldy, and he'll dump it down in behind the Hawk net. And Lankin stopping it there for Jake McCabe. Over to Connor Murphy, right wing side to Dmitry Osipov. Hawk line turning away. He'll flip it ahead now to Reece Johnson, who dumps the puck down the left wing boards and in behind the Wild net. Taken by Talbot, who then takes the goal stick and flips the puck off the corner glass and up into the protective netting. We'll get a face-off in the Wild zone to Talbot's right. 1-0 Minnesota Wild.
And you mentioned Reece Johnson, a guy we interviewed the other night, and we've really enjoyed watching him play in the preseason. Brings a lot of energy to the group, and he's given himself a chance to make this team. He really has. I mean, they're down to about 5 lines of forwards in the first group, and he's a part of it. So an energy player who has used that. As this puck will go down for icing, Calvin DeHaan's going to shovel it over to the ref, and we'll go down in the Minnesota Wild zone for the face-off. But, you know, Reece is a guy who came into camp with improved skating, with a chip on his shoulder, winning face-offs as he lines up for this one in the right circle. And, you know, I won't be shocked to see him play some games for the Blackhawks this year, because he's certainly shown in the preseason that he belongs.
Well, he got 5 last year with the Blackhawks, and every time he came up, he got into the lineup and he hit everything that moved. And I think he's just got to keep that up. And I'm encouraged by what you said about the improved skating, because that can go a long way for just about any hockey player. In the high slot, here's Ian Mitchell. Put one toward the net, deflected wide. A nice deflection there by Osipov in front. In behind the Wild net, the puck taken out. And this is by Kalen Addison of Wild, who was hit as he unloads the puck to center ice. And then Addison got the puck back from Rossi deep into the Wild zone. Over to Merrill and ahead to Rossi at center ice to Bugstad across the Hawk line, right point where he gave up the puck to the Hawks, Calvin DeHaan. And he'll spin it down to the Wild blue line. Kalen Addison there. He'll backskate with the puck into the circle to the right of Talbot. And now Addison between the circles. Former second round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Spins it down the glass and in behind the Hawk net. Lankin tried to squeeze it through the legs of Foligno. Instead, it deflects across the rink. And then Brandon Hagel shot it back across the rink. This deflects deep into the Wild zone. No icing is called as Dumba fights off a check and now carries through center ice. He's in over the Hawk line, put the puck away the left wing corner. Hagel took a chop there from Foligno, no penalty called. Then Hagel took the puck back in front of the Hawk net to Henrik Borgstrom. In over the Wild line left point, hits the trailer. Stillman down the slot, shoots, and a glove save made by Talbot. Outstanding setup by Henrik Borgstrom. How does he see the ice like that? But boy, he made it happen.
Yeah, Henrik Borgstrom, the big 6'4" Finnish winger, comes in on the left side of the offensive zone, and he realizes that he's got some late traffic coming, so he pulls up and he executes that Gretzky turn back towards the wall. He sees Stillman, the defenseman, jumping into the play late, and Stillman had almost a breakaway from the middle of the slot on down to the goal, and Talbot made a good save, but what a play by Henrik Borgstrom.
Now Murphy from the right point snaps the puck down in behind the Wild net. Colton Dock was a little late getting there. Wild get it back. That's Zuccarello at the Wild blue line. Will pass ahead on the left wing at center ice in front of the Minnesota bench to Spurgeon. Tips the puck into the Hawk zone. The Hawks clear. Strome gathers in the puck and gave it to Gaudette at center ice. And from the right wing side, he'll spin it down the boards deep into the Wild end. And then McCabe lost the puck in the corner, and it's scooped from a very sharp angle by Kaprizov into the glove of Talbot, standing in the Wild crease. They have a quick conversation. Face off to Talbot's right.
Jake McCabe doing a nice job of anticipating that breakout by the Wild. He was already down at the hash marks, ready to break up that play, which he did, and he wins the battle. Puck ends up back on net, and now the Blackhawks get the offensive zone draw.
And Jujhar Khaira's in to take it and wins it to Jake McCabe, left point. Whips it right point. Murphy, long wrist shot, deflects just wide of the crease. And Talbot had vacated, looked like his position in the net. He wasn't playing deep in the net. He was playing near the top of the crease. And one of the Blackhawk players been at the back door. That's an easy tap in. Wild come back up ice. We're going to get a whistle for an offside at the Hawk blue line. And Kirill Kaprizov looking skyward as the whistle blows. Frustrated with that call. Faceoff comes out of the Hawk zone to center ice.
Kaprizov trying to buy time because of a good gap by Connor Murphy. And Murphy and McCabe will probably see Kaprizov a lot throughout this season. That top line with Zuccarello and Kaprizov. But if you're able to use your stick and use your feet, and you make a guy like Kaprizov take one more step out left, one more step out right, you give yourself the opportunity to get numbers back and to force an offside like they did there.
Here's DeHaan behind the Hawk net. Patting the puck around up the right side. Hagel to Mitchell. Now to Borgstrom. Put it in over the Wild line. Left point. Doc wheels into the top of the left circle and fires a shot. And this deflects up into the protective netting. Sometimes, and you and I have the benefit of watching it from way up here. When you're down on the ice, you know that the play closes pretty quickly. You think, well, if Kirby could have just gotten that shot away a half a second sooner.
Yeah, I can attest to how much easier it is up here than it is down at ice level. We've got great angles in all these buildings.
Well, the Wild attacking down the right wing into the Hawk zone. Frederick Goodrow, ex of the Nashville Predators. In behind the Hawk net, Boldy moves it out to the right point, and Addison will fire one. That deflects wide. Hagel got to the puck along the right wing boards in the Hawk end and pokes it down into the Wild zone. There is Addison, right wing at center ice, crossing the Hawk line. Spinning the puck into the right wing corner for Fiala. He was shouldered there by DeHaan. Hawks get the puck back. Dmitry Osipov to center ice on the left wing. Lifts the puck down to the end boards and then rides Jonas Brodin into the end boards. And Brodin is up and moving the puck free, but not out of the Wild end. Kept in by McCabe. And McCabe lost it at the left point. Here's Kirill Kaprizov. Flipping the puck down beside the Wild net. And Addison's got it there. Put it between the circles to Joel Eriksson-Ek. Had the Kaprizov at center ice. Jake McCabe stepping up from the Hawk blue line to bat that back into the Wild zone. The Wild will restart. Kaprizov at center ice, then lost the handle on the puck. Quick transition by the Hawks. Osipov tried to make a slap pass to the near boards in the center ice. Puck taken away by Zuccarello. Kept it into the Hawk zone. Here's Dumba from the high slot. A little spin, and he falls over the leg of Osipov. And Dumba ailing a little bit from that collision. Wild retain the puck. Zuccarello to Dumba, now at the line in the deep slot. To Matt Zuccarello beside the left wing circle, then to the corner. Spins it behind the net to the right corner. Kaprizov to Dumba in the high slot. Shanks a one-timer, looking for the puck. And he finds it at his feet. Passes to the right wing boards. Kaprizov to Zuccarello to Dumba, back skating with the puck to the left point. To Kaprizov, top of the left wing circle. Crosses the high slot. Floats it over left circle. Zuccarello tried to jam it on goal. Connor Murphy reaching with the stick. Knocked it away. Zuccarello took it back in the right circle. Penalty coming up here to the Hawks. This will be a slash. As Brodin sees the puck deflect off his stick at the left point and up into the Wild bench. Wild power play when we return with 12:27 left in period number 2. The Wild lead at 1-0. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
There is nothing harder than being a parent right now. So if your house currently sounds like this, you need a break. And surprisingly, donating plasma at BioLife Plasma Services can give you a break. Stay with me here. It's a physical break from the kids. Yes, finally some alone time. Give your bank account a break. You could earn up to $1,200 in your first month. and a break from reality. Free Wi-Fi, baby. So book an appointment today to donate your life-saving plasma. BioLife. There's purpose in your plasma. Visit biolifeplasma.com or tap the screen to learn more.
Got spuds on the brain? Clubs? Salads? Don't just think about our food, enjoy it. With ordering options as varied as our menu, enjoying McAllister's favorites is easier than ever. From ordering online or in our app to delivery, curbside, pickup window, and tableside, you're always one step closer to enjoying fresh favorites. And that's good, because with your kids making a ruckus in the back seat, you'll want our help to settle their hungry bellies. Order today at McAllistersDeli.com or on our app.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our trained comfort specialists are here to help improve the air quality of your home. So call 855-1HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time, or you don't pay that.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
As a professional musician, Lachi stays true to her creative vision, even with continuing vision loss. But she's not alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Lachi, winning means using her voice to bring hope to others with vision loss. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Join our firm, Sarat, Grzanich, Ennet, and Kakuzian. Our offices open early.
Now, back to the game.
Welcome back in here to the XL Energy Center. We're going to get another look at the Blackhawks penalty kill, something that, you know, maybe it's a blessing, John. They're getting more opportunities to work on it. I know it's something that they did not practice a ton early on. They focused a lot more on the power play, which we saw has been good in the preseason. So now I think focus shifts a little bit to the penalty kill as Mackenzie Entwistle steps in to take the draw.
Well, you know the old axiom in hockey, sometimes your goaltender's got to be your best penalty killer, and I can see that situation evolving right here with Kevin Lankin. Now inside the Hawk zone as the Wild control. Fiala coughed up the puck. Jake McCabe is not kidding around. He takes the loose puck and fires it off the right boards and down. 1:40 in the Wild power play. Jared Spurgeon handling the puck behind the Wild net for Kevin Fiala, who came by and picked it up, gave it to Spurgeon. Wild line back to Fiala over the Hawk line left wing. Send it to Kaprizov left point. Turns on Doc, wheels into the left circle, then in front, got away backhanded, and a split save made by Lankin. And I mean split. He got down in the cheerleader splits and stopped that with his left pad. And that Kaprizov's got immense talent and a terrific backhand. And boy, Kevin Lankin came up big right there.
Yeah, Kaprizov not afraid to hold on to the puck as he walked in from the blue line all on his own. And, you know, using that fake shot, getting to his backhand and shoveling one in on Lankinen, but a good save by the Blackhawk netminder.
Wild control off the draw again. Eriksson Ek now back of the Hawk net. He's got the Wild's goal. Flips it away, right corner glass. Hawk zone to Zuccarello, to Kaprizov, top of the right circle. To Spurgeon at the line, sends it over to Fiala. It's off his stick. Kirby Doc got hold of the puck and fires it up the boards. And what happened? Did it hit somebody on the Wild bench?
Yeah, it hit someone on the Wild bench. The faceoff's going to come right outside the zone to the right faceoff, Doc. But a good job by Kirby Doc nonetheless. When you get an opportunity on the penalty kill, it has to go 200 feet, and I think that's something that the Blackhawks can improve at. They can work on making sure they get the puck 200 feet, make the other team chase it down, kill that 20 or 30 so seconds, and, you know, make it hard on the Minnesota Wild entering the offensive zone.
Well, Dean Evison, the head coach of the Wild, now in his second year, native of Flin Flon, Manitoba. If you pull out the map, or maybe go on Google Earth, pull up the map of Manitoba, look way up. There's one road in and one road out. And a lot of hockey players that come out of Flin Flon. Here are the Wild attacking again. Eriksson Ek, Hawk line, right wing will spin the puck into the corner. McCabe works it free. Fiala took it back in the corner to Spurgeon, right point to Zuccarello. Moving into the left circle, then left corner. Back to Spurgeon to Fiala, right circle. Fires it in front of the net. This deflects through and wide. Kaprizov in the left circle got it back to the line. Spurgeon to Fiala, top of the right circle. Put it beside the net. Now Eriksson Ek, then back to Fiala. 19 seconds on the power play to Zuccarello, left circle. Fiala, right circle. Wheels out and fires. And Jake McCabe went down to block that shot. Wild get it back now with 10. Zuccarello, left wing circle. Put it out to the high slot. Spurgeon over to Fiala. One-timer from the right circle. Big save by Lankin, and with the pads in behind the net. Eriksson Ek took it back, and now here's a shot from Kaprizov from the slot. And Lankinen down with a butterfly save. Murphy is out of the box. The Hawks are at full strength, and Murphy skates right down to the crease, where you got a whole bunch of hockey players all gathered, along with a couple of linesmen. We get a whistle stopping play, and Lankinen has come up big a couple times again.
You could say that again. 4 big saves for Kevin Lankinen, all coming right on the doorstep. He stopped Eriksson Ek 3 times, and on the last one, he tried to pull it through his legs and stuff it back short side. And then Kaprizov ends up with one literally exactly between the hash marks. I am not exaggerating on that. So huge saves by Lankinen and a good rebound control to get the face-off.
In behind the Hawk net, they battle for the puck. Marcus Foligno along with the Hawks Dylan Strome and Ian Mitchell as well. Now Jakub Galvas to the loose puck. Send it up the left wing side to Colton Dock. Clearing to center ice to Gaudette. He tried to flip it across the rink for Mitchell. This deflects instead back into the Hawk zone. Galvas in the far corner. Leaves it there for Ian Mitchell. Sent the puck away along the right boards to Strome. He's hit as he clears to center ice. Here's Galvas leading the rush to Colton Dock over the Hawk line right wing. Backhands one toward the net. Deflects in behind where Colton Dock runs into one of the Wild, and they both go for a tumble back of the net. Hawks get the puck. Here's Adam Gaudette, right point. Down to Kirby Dock, right wing corner. Here's Kirby Dock now navigating into a check from Brodin. He goes down. Gaudette in to help out. Got it to Colton Dock. To Mitchell, right point. Long wrist shot blocked by Ryan Hartman. Over to the left point it goes. McCabe there. To Kirby Dock back in the net. His brother Colton circles in behind him. Here's Kirby Dock crisscrossing with brother Colton against the far boards. Batted back to the right point. Murphy, long wrist shot, and a glove save made by Talbot. And he'll hold on. To my knowledge, that's the first time Kirby Dock and Colton Dock have played together on the same ice surface at the National Hockey League level.
In this game, we missed it. The game that was in Missouri, but they did take a couple of shifts together that night.
Okay, very cool. All right, still 1-0 Wild with 9:12 left in the second period here in Minnesota. We'll be right back after this break. You're listening to Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
We could use a laugh. I'm John Williams. I've got your speed jokes tomorrow morning at 9:40.
Using meth taught me everything about freedom, only not like you think. It taught me how easy it is to lose your freedom. If you think meth is taking control of you, ask for help. You have the power to be truly free. I know. I'm Jan, and I'm free from meth.
If you or someone you know is struggling with meth, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/meth.
My crusade for the perfect pizza crust has led me here, pining over a backyard wood-fired oven. But how do I bake this build into my budget? Where can I get some solid guidance on my finances? Who can help me understand if I have the dough for this?
A little financial advice. At Regions, we know that's important because your Life Green checking account comes with Greenprint, financial planning with a banker who will help you create a personal budget and live in the moment. Make your appointment at regions.com/Greenprint. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Donating plasma is an important thing to do.
But why?
Well, because it helps make life-changing medicines that treat people with rare diseases.
But why?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
But why?
You sound like Grandma.
But why?
You tell me, buddy. BioLife Plasma Services needs life-saving plasma, which is why new donors could earn up to $1,200 in the first month. So go ahead and take a break from all the questions and change some lives while you're at it. BioLife. There's purpose in your plasma. Visit biolifeplasma.com or tap the screen to learn more.
Welcome back to Minnesota. John Weideman along with Colby Cohen for Chicago Blackhawks preseason hockey. Joe Brand handling things back in our WGN studios in Blackhawk Central. It's the Wild one of the Hawks, no score with 8:49 left in period number 2. In front of the benches, nice steal by Connor Murphy of the puck. Moves it ahead now. Borgstrom steps into the Wild zone. Kirby Dock tried to straddle the blue line and either lost his edge or just turned into the Wild zone. Either way, offside is the call. Face-off comes to center ice.
Yeah, and the Blackhawks will get some fresh skaters out on the ice, but that Borgstrom and Kirby Dock line, they've been productive tonight. They've had the lion's share of the chances for the Blackhawks, playing with Brandon Hagel. That's the Blackhawks' first line this evening. Playing with a lot of speed, though. I really have. I'd like to see the way Kirby Dach has handled the puck tonight. He's really held on to it well. He's possessed it, and it's good to see the growth out of the youngster who's coming into his third season here.
Yeah, again, during the offseason, Kirby let the body heal a little bit. Then he got into the weight room, and he's put on a little more muscle. Can only help. Along the far boards, Hawk zone. Dmitry Osipov tosses the puck out to center ice up the right wing. Front of the bench is taken back by the Wild's Fiala. Put it over the Hawk line, Matthew Boldy. Boldy, first-round pick of the Wild, leaves the puck near the top of the left circle for John Merrill, and he'll poke it down in behind the Hawk net. Mitchell sends it away along the left boards, Calvin Ahan to Osipov, who crosses in front of the Hawk crease, and then put the puck away to DeHaan. Ahead at the left wing, it goes Evan Barrett. And then to Reece Johnson. He's over the Wild line, left point, and is hit. And now he goes down to hit the guy that hit him. And that was Kalen Addison in front of the Wild net. But Addison holding his discipline as Johnson will exit the ice surface on a line change. Mike Hardman, meanwhile, down the left wing, Wild zone. A lethal wrist shot ends up through the crease and wide. And the puck deflects down ice into the Hawk zone. Jakob Galvas has it now back of the Hawk net. Galvas banks a pass up the left wing to Hardman. Boston College product to Mackenzie Entwistle. Over the Wild line on the right wing. He chips the puck down the boards and in behind the net it goes. Dumba clears to the near corner. Stillman down for the left point, handling it there. To Hardman back of the Wild net. He and Jonas Brodin engage in a battle. Then Mackenzie Entwistle is pushed from behind by Rossi. Nearly bumped his head on the inboards. Entwistle now to the puck along the near boards. To the left point, Stillman with a drive, deflected in on goal by Hardman, kicked out of there by Talbot. Stillman again now from the right point. Fed it high slot, Dylan Strome walks in, fires! Talbot the save, the rebound lays to the crease. Oh, and Strome chipped it over the net. I believe one of the Wild players got a stick in there to deflect that one away. That would have been an easy goal for Dylan Strome.
Yeah, it was Nick Bjugstad got his stick right in the way of Dylan Strome, who took a snapshot right around the top of the circle, and he followed it up, and there was a loose puck right behind Talbot. He lost track of it, but a little bit of help from Nick Bjugstad and Jonas Brodin keeps the Minnesota Wild ahead 1-0.
Well, if Bjugstad is lazy at all in getting to that spot, it's picked up by the coach, the guy I was talking about, Dean Evison, who in his day racked up over 1,000 penalty minutes. He was a tough guy and he's a no-nonsense kind of a guy. So that's the kind of thing that can get you a reduction in ice time in a hurry. Here's Matt Zuccarello at center ice to Jared Spurgeon over the Hawk line left wing. Fed it through the slot for Kaprizov. He waved at the puck and the Hawks get it back. Colton Dach back in over the Wild line on the left wing. Had the puck stripped off his stick. Zuccarello the other way to center ice. Now Eriksson Ek across the Hawk line, right circle. Got away a backhand. Turned wide by Lankinen. Colton Dach will chip the puck behind the Hawk net around, but not out. Kaprizov along the right boards. Leaves it there for Addison, right point. Back to Kaprizov. Fights his way through a couple of players. Still has the puck. Kirill Kaprizov through the high slot over to the left point. Does the Bauer move where he turns his skates at 10-2. Still holding the puck. Gave it to Addison from the left point. He'll walk it through the high slot. Give it to Kaprizov, right point. Long wrist shot that hit Connor Murphy in front. Colton Dach had it knocked off his stick by Kaprizov down behind the net. Zuccarello there. Spins it out to the left point. And now here is Addison dropping it top of the right circle. Kaprizov to the top of the left circle. Now shot by Matthew Dumba. Actually, Hartman turned wide with a blocker save made by Lankinen. And the puck deflects out from the corner onto the stick of McCabe. Head to Gaudette to Colton Dach at center ice. He'll try to clear it ahead, and it's taken back by the Wild. Hawks in a line change. Here the Wild attacking. Zuccarello put it across the rink, and Dumba fires one from the left circle, and a flying save made there by Lankin, and he spun across the crease and got his right pad in front of that shot. Lankinen has come up big in this period. Foligno into the left circle Hawk zone, a spin and a backhander. That was blocked. The other way, Hagel. He's to the Wild line, sent it over the line. Borgstrom down the right wing to the circle, stopping, fed the slot to Kirby Dach. He'll fire, and that deflects wide. Borgstrom got it back, right wing boards to Mitchell, right point. To DeHaan, left point. To Mitchell now at the left point as well. Sends it down off the left corner boards. Borgstrom there to catch it. Borgstrom carrying back up the boards, put it across, ends up at the right point. Mitchell, he'll snap one toward the net, and it deflects on goal. Knocked out of there by Talbot. And then the puck is played to center ice by Foligno. Kirby Doc will whack it off the right boards. Down in behind the Wild net. Talbot works it into the near corner in the Wild end. Matthew Dumba there. Will send it across to Jonas Brodin. Back to Dumba. Dumba just short of the Wild blue line. Passing ahead to Foligno. Hawk line right wing side. He and Riley Stillman become tied up. Jujar Kara, the Hawks in to get the puck. To McKenzie Entwistle between the circles, Hawk zone. To Jakob Galvis, and then out to Stillman. Now to Entwistle through center ice, crossing the Wild line. He fired a wrist shot, tried to get a screen on the way in, but it was blocked. Loose puck now to the near boards in the Wild zone. Gaudreau dropping the puck into the corner to Goligoski. Passing it across the rink. Addison will clear to center ice. This is taken back on the Hawks. Galvis back into the Wild zone near the right point. Lost the handle, and Twistle came along and got it. Put it down in behind the Wild net to Kara. Out to the left point, Stillman firing a shot. This deflects in front of the net. Spurgeon took it away, gloves the puck, drops it to his stick, then sends it down ice right in on Kevin Lankin as the Wild try to get a line change. And then Stillman clears the puck off the left wing boards to center ice to Osipov. Big Hawk winger will backhand it down in behind the Wild net. Talbot out to play it back around those same boards. Here's Rossi crossing the Hawk line. Austrian-born moves it into the high slot. Beckman will fire from there for the Wild, and Lankinen will gobble that up with the glove and hold on. We get a whistle stopping play. We have 2:54 left in the second period up here in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's the Wild 1 and the Hawks no score. Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
After I got out of the Marine Corps, coming back home, it was just a mental breakdown for me. I was on the verge of giving up. That chapter, that season in my life was over. Now what? Who was I? That's what I kept asking myself. The pressure to have it all together, to heal, to quiet down the monsters inside, it was too much. I lost it. I had heard about the Wounded Warrior Project. I had seen the logo and that visual of a warrior carrying another warrior. The programs that the Wounded Warrior Project offers, it's not just the veteran themselves, it's their whole family. It brings it all together. We have scars that we carry, and just because the scars are there doesn't mean that we're any less than what we were. Right now, I'm the best version that I ever have been of myself. I can embrace the brokenness.
You wouldn't go into battle alone. You don't have to fight this alone. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/notalone.
Steve Bertrand brings you Chicago's afternoon news every weekday 4 till 7. Now back to the game.
The Chicago Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild picking up the pace towards the end of this second period. And we've seen a lot of up and down action, John. And Kevin Lankinen for the Chicago Blackhawks has had a pretty good game so far. He has made a lot of good saves. He has controlled his rebounds well. He's played the puck very well. And I'll tell you, this is a great effort by Lankinen towards the end of preseason.
He really is making a case for himself with this performance. Here's a shot from Addison from the right point, wide of the Hawk net. The puck ricocheted out to the bottom of the left circle, and Beckman was right there for the Wild to fire it wide. He had Lankinen way out of position, but just couldn't convert. Now the puck is sent by Merrill all the way down the ice from the Minnesota zone. This is going to be icing against the Wild. 2:29 left in period 3. 1-0 Minnesota. Face-off comes down in the circle to the, let's see, they're going to move it over in the circle to the right of Cam Talbot.
And a couple of guys we've talked a lot about tonight. Matt Boldy, the first-round pick of the Minnesota Wild, and Mike Hardman. They were teammates at Boston College, John. They spent a couple of years together in Chestnut Hill. They won a lot of games together. Very successful players, and now they're facing off against each other for the first time at the NHL level.
Stillman hammers one from the blue line in the deep slot. Blocker saved by Talbot, who played his college hockey, University Alabama, Huntsville. Now the Hahn from the left point will fire, and again, Talbot down with a butterfly save. This time he'll hold on to the puck. Whistle will stop play. Face-off will be in the circle to his right. When Talbot entered the National Hockey League, he was the backup to Henrik Lundqvist with the New York Rangers. Not a bad guy to learn from.
No, that's kind of like the situation that we have here in Chicago, where you have Marc-Andre Fleury as your number one, and Kevin Lankinen, Colin Delia, Malcolm Subban, all guys that are going to have the opportunity to learn from a future first ballot Hall of Famer in Marc-Andre Fleury.
Absolutely. Draw one by. Now the Hawks get it. Colton Dock put it behind the net there to Strome. Strome tried to center the puck. Kaprizov picked that off in the far circle. Kaprizov racing behind the Wild net, then up the right wing side and through center ice, handling the puck the whole way in over the Hawk line. Couldn't get it by Jake McCabe, however, and he knocked it free. And Zuccarello then mishandles the puck at the Hawk blue line. He got it back into the Hawk zone. Kaprizov to Dumba, right point. Left point now to Brodin. Back to Dumba to Zuccarello in the near circle. Coughed up the puck, reaches, took it back, and then McCabe put the body into him there. Oh, Zuccarello skates right circle, put it out in front of the net. Murphy's got it in his skates, and then Lankin and poke checks it away. Kept in by the Wild. Here's Brodin at the left point. Long shot blocked by Murphy. And then the puck chopped out of there by Zuccarello. Dumba will fire from the right point. That's why. Loose puck along the far boards. Colton Dock trying to clear. Saskatoon Blade will move it ahead. Here's Gaudette now one-on-one with Dumba. Gaudette was at the end of his shift, so he escapes to the Wild blue line and dumps the puck down in behind the Wild net. The teams are in line change.
A good board battle by Colton Dock.
Oh, here's a breakaway for Marcus Foligno into the Hawk zone down the side. He shoots and a left pad kick save made by Lankin, and another huge save for Kevin Lankinen. Dock back into the Wild zone, crossing the slot to the right circle. Kirby Dock lets it go, and that's wide. And the puck now along the far boards, Wild end. Marcus Foligno sends it behind the Wild net. Round it goes to Dumba. He'll clear it down to the Hawk line. And DeHaan pokes it back to center ice. 31 seconds left in period number 2. Now Spurgeon from the left point Hawk zone slings it down the glass. In behind the Hawk net, it goes to the near corner. Kirby Dock had it stripped away. Foligno took it away, fed it to the slot, picked off by Borgstrom. And the Hawk winger will send it off the boards into the Wild end. 14 seconds left in the period. Here's Goligoski from in front of the Hawk bench. Left wing at center ice. Passing ahead now. Boldy at center ice will flip it down behind the Hawk net. DeHaan will carry it out up the right side and rag the puck, holding onto it long enough to draw the horn. 2 periods in the books. The Wild still have the 1-0 lead on the Hawks, and they lead in the shots on goal department 20-17. But the Hawks, after killing off that Wild power play earlier in the period, were able to come back and register a few volleys of their own. We'll see what happens in the third period.
Yeah, that game, that period was a lot faster. The pace definitely picked up. The physical play absolutely picked up. Right at the end of the period, Matt Boldy and Kirby Dock had words with each other. They were pushing and shoving a little bit, a swing of the stick. But, you know, I think that period's all about Kevin Lankinen. He absolutely played phenomenal for this Blackhawks team. We talked about him coming into this game, John. We knew that this was a young Blackhawks lineup, missing a lot of the big names. And when you look across the line and you see who Minnesota brought in to play this game here in St. Paul, much different. And Kevin Lankinen has absolutely answered the bell. He's been good. And when you look at a guy who's fighting for a position like anybody else on this hockey club, and you look at the little details of the goaltending position, is he tracking the puck well? Is he smothering the puck well? You know, a lot of times these goaltenders, they have a hard time tracking a puck. You see rebounds going everywhere. None of that tonight. He has been good in all areas. He's been good at holding on to the puck, knowing when to move it, when to play it. So I've really liked what I've seen out of Lankinen tonight.
Well, 2 periods in the books, as I mentioned. The Wild with the 1-0 lead. And Joe Brand is standing by in Blackhawks Central. He'll have a full intermission report for you, good folks. Then we'll come back up here to the land of 10,000 Lakes, where the Hawks will look to try and tie this score. At the very least, tie it. Maybe forge ahead with third period action. We'll find out if they can in a little while. 1-0 Minnesota after 2. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
That's for you. Answer the call from patients who need plasma. Donations are down, so give plasma at a Grifols Center and receive compensation. Visit grifolsplasma.com.
Come into Bell Tire today. You'll get the lowest tire price, period.
Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. You'll also get a guy who will give you free lifetime flat repairs, tire rotations, and alignment checks. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. Plus more free services and more out of your tires and more for your money. It's how we make the lowest tire price feel even lower at Bell Tire. See store and belltire.com for details and offer expiration.
BMO Harris is where you are with banking tools you need where you need them, like fast Zelle transfers.
Who had the 3 cheese omelet? Mine was 5 cheese. Okay, then you owe $11.72. I also had a side of bacon. So then make that $15.39. I have a mimosa on the way. Okay.
With BMO Harris, you can split bills easily using Zelle once you finally figure out who owes what. When your bank is where you are. That's the BMO effect.
My first plan to spice up the NFL season was to add man-eating tigers to the game. We lost a lot of great players that day, and that was my bad. Now I'm bringing you the Caesars Sportsbook app. It's got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesars rewards, people. It's even better than Tiger Ball.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Bundling home and car insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? They may drop little hints like,
beautiful day out. Even more beautiful since we saved by bundling our home and car insurance with Geico.
or,
Yard work is hard. Much harder than bundling with Geico, which was easy.
or it may be even subtler, like,
Speaking of burgers, we bundled our home and car insurance with Geico and saved a bunch of money.
bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
And now it's Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road. Before you ride, make sure your mirrors are clean and adjusted properly. And if you're going on a group ride, make sure the lead biker knows where they're going.
Ed, quick question. Where are you taking us?
Oh, I have no idea. Well, am I the leader? Because I was following that dude with the red helmet. Where is he?
And the rule to saving on motorcycle insurance is, in 15 minutes, Geico could save you 15% or more.
It's time for an intermission update. Here's Joe Brand.
No goals in the second period, but a handful of saves and a couple of really flashy ones by Kevin Lankin, and he had 9 total saves in the second period. Minnesota leading the game 1-0 and also leading in shots on goal 20-17 as they're through 2 periods up at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm Joe Brand here at Blackhawks Central. It's again the Hawks trail 1-0. But Kevin Lankin right now putting up some really good stops in between the pipes as the Hawks also kill off their first penalty in their last 5 tries. Let's take a look around the entire NHL. The Montreal Canadiens end up tying things up against the Ottawa Senators. It's a 4-4 game. They're going to head to overtime up in Canada as 3 periods have expired over there. And also a note on Montreal, Carey Price will be away from the team to voluntarily take part in the NHL's player assistance program. He's not going to be ready for that season opener in Toronto. And along with rehabbing from knee surgery and still having yet to recover from a non-COVID illness that has kept him off the ice the past few days, actually his wife posted on Instagram that she's happy that he's taking care of his mental stability, or rather, taking care of his mental and physical health before putting hockey first. So the Montreal Canadiens without Carey Price to at least begin the 2021-2022 season. Other scores around the NHL, Red Wings and Penguins are tied up at 2. Again, former Blackhawk Pia Suter scoring in that one. There's a little less than 9 minutes left in regulation up at the Little Caesars Arena. The Stars lead the Avalanche 2-0. They're through 2 periods over in Dallas. Edmonton with a 1-0 lead over the Canucks. Leon Draisaitl with a goal, a power play goal, just a couple of minutes left in that first period. The Tampa Bay Lightning take down the Florida Panthers 6-2. Steven Stamkos with a couple of goals in that game, and later on tonight the Golden Knights will host the Arizona Coyotes over in Vegas. Another look at the MLB postseason scoreboard update. Again, the White Sox fall to the Houston Astros tonight, a 6-1 final from Minute Maid Park as Houston takes a 1-0 series lead against the Sox in that ALDS. That's the first preseason, make it the first postseason postseason loss for the Sox in Houston. Remember, they won both games of the 2005 World Series down in Texas. The Tampa Bay Rays lead the Boston Red Sox 3-0 as that ALDS gets underway. They're in the bottom of the fourth inning at Tropicana Field over in Florida. Nelson Cruz belting a home run in that contest. And in Thursday Night Football, Seattle with a 7-3 lead over the LA Rams. That game is now at halftime over in Seattle. We'll take another break, bring Colby Cohen back into the broadcast as the Hawks trail the Minnesota Wild. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey here on 720 WGN.
The Sinatra Hours and Sunday Standards, the perfect Sunday feeling.
What drives you? What inspires you? You know why you're thinking about your education and career. You just need to know how to make your vision a reality. Indiana Wesleyan University will get to know you and your goals, challenge you to achieve, and support you beyond graduation day. We're regionally accredited and offer a tuition guarantee to save you money on more than 160 online degree programs. You know why? IWU is how. Visit IWUishow.com to learn more.
Enter to win a pair of tickets to the fabulously fun musical Legally Blonde, based on the adored movie at the Metropolis Performing Arts Center in Arlington Heights. Playing through November 20th. Details at WGNradio.com/contests.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is reconnecting neighborhoods by growing community gardens and farms through the Love Tito's Block to Block program. By teaming up with Love Tito's, Growing Places Indy is able to replace and rebuild raised garden beds at its main farm site. To lend a hand and become a volunteer, visit growingplacesindy.org/volunteer. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume.
Blackhawks lead in shots on goal in that second period, but they trail overall to the Minnesota Wild 20-17, so it was kind of the Kevin Lankin show in that second period. A couple of really big stops, one on the power play, one towards the end of that second period as he stopped Foligno on a breakaway opportunity in the final minute. Hey fans, don't forget to tune in tonight to the Bitcoin of America Chicago Blackhawks postgame show for player and coach interview, fan reaction, and game analysis as the Hawks trail the Minnesota Wild 1-0. Still the only score in this game, a Joel Eriksson-Ek power play goal back in the first period. But again, a big second period for Kevin Lankin. And as we bring in Colby Cohen back from the XL Energy Center, I do want to pose this question to you. With what's at stake for the Hawks right now, you know, we've seen some good glimpses from the power play. We've seen some struggles from the penalty kill, and I get it. This isn't a finished product in all these preseason games. These aren't the units we're going to be seeing in the regular season. But with the Hawks goaltending tandem, and I guess make the argument of the ability to possibly limit your penalties, could you make the argument that you'd rather have a good power play heading into the regular season than a good penalty kill if you are the Chicago Blackhawks, Colby?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tricky question. I mean, look, I was a power play guy when I played, so I really didn't care about the penalty kill all that much. But I think that it's important to be good at both. I don't think it's an ideal scenario to have a great power play and a terrible penalty kill. I think you'd trade that for just a good power play and a good penalty kill. But goaltender can be your best penalty killer. You know, we don't have a lot of the personnel playing tonight. They did kill off a penalty. They had some good clears. Kirby Dach had a couple himself, won a couple of faceoffs. And remember, no Jonathan Taves to take those draws. So the Blackhawks, you know, they don't have that ace in the dot that you know is going to win those faceoffs. And, you know, they're trying different guys out here on the penalty kill tonight. There's been a different cast of guys getting opportunities. So all in all, you know, if you would have told me looking at on paper, you know, the Blackhawks would have a couple of penalty kills and you know, they'd be 1-0 going into the third period, I would have said that's probably not a bad spot to be in on the road.
Something else you brought up at the beginning of the broadcast is this is the second to last preseason game. The next one will be at home, so it's kind of the dress rehearsal for the regular season, if you will. You're going to see a lot of the regular starters in that game, so it's important tonight for a lot of these guys fighting for a spot in a very deep Blackhawks roster right now. And, you know, this is kind of a big training camp for Dylan Strome. So far tonight, one shot, one takeaway. He's won 4 out of 9 faceoffs. How would you assess Dylan Strome in these first 40 minutes?
Yeah, I've noticed him at times playing on a line with Gaudette and Colton Dach, and I think for a guy like Dylan Strome, he's proven that he can move the puck and make plays in the NHL. I don't think that there's any question about some of his offensive ability. I think with Strome, you're really just looking for consistency. You're looking for, shift in and shift out, giving Jeremy Colleton the ability to know what he's going to get. And I talked with Jeremy a little bit earlier when we were heading to Minnesota at the airport, and we talked about some of the depth and some of these guys, Strome amongst others, and he had a funny line, and he said, at this training camp, at this point, I sleep better at night looking at the personnel and the options that I have, and Strome being a part of that. So, what you're seeing here is a deeper group with a lot of guys pushing to make this hockey club. I think tonight's the last night you're going to see guys that are junior aged or maybe destined for the American League, whether it's Osipov, whether it might be Colton Dach. Guys like that are probably going to get their last action tonight. So, they have one period, and Dylan Strome is no different. Obviously, Brett Connolly was a similar player that probably started camp with a hill to climb, and he was put on waivers the other day and reassigned to Rockford once he cleared waivers. So, it's going to be an interesting couple of days, Joe, to see how things transpire. And Saturday night in Chicago, we're going to see 99% of the players who I think will play in Colorado on opening night.
That's Colby Cohen, not only breaking down the game, but getting some nuggets from Jeremy Colleton. Thanks for that, Colby.
You got it, Joe. That's what I'm here for. Just trying to keep up with you, buddy.
We'll send it over to John and Colby in just a few short moments. Just another couple of stats to bring up. Both teams, even with 7 hits in the game so far, faceoffs actually in favor of Minnesota, 53% compared to the Blackhawks, 47%, and block shots in favor of Minnesota, 14-8. We'll take one more break, and then we'll send it back over to John and Colby over at the XL Energy Center. Hawks trailing Minnesota 1-0 right now. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey here on 720 WGN.
With Prime, get light bulbs delivered in a day. Edison would be proud.
Indeed, I'm proud.
Get your everyday essentials delivered fast. Prime changes everything.
Veterans, you stepped up for our freedom. You deserve the freedom to move about your home. If you served in a branch of the armed forces, enter for the chance to win a home stair lift with installation from Access Elevator. Visit WGNradio.com/contests.
The first bet on Caesars Sportsbook app is up to $5,000 risk-free, people. When I told my team about the idea, they said I was being too wonderful and magnificent. But I don't care how awesome this makes me. I'm doing this for the people. So just download the app, and that first bet is up to $5,000 risk-free. Caesar made an app for the people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in Indiana only and for new players. Paid in bet credits. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
When it comes to working at Geico, our best advocates are our employees, like Michael. But since he is so focused on growing his career, we hired an actor to read his story.
If you want a job where you get out as much as you put in, Geico is the best place to work. Plus, we promote from within, so there are no ceilings placed on your opportunities.
They even offer parental leave to full-time employees. So there's nothing stopping him from going all the way to the top. But not too high. He's scared of heights.
Ready to start your career, Indy? We're hiring claim sales and service agents. Apply online today at geico.job/Indy.
There's Pablo in his natural habitat, opening his internet bill in fear. No! He just saw his 12-month promotional price ended. Uh-oh, and he just discovered the equipment fees. Back away slowly.
If your internet bill drives you wild, just remember, you're not a bad person. You just need a straightforward price. Get AT&T Fiber. Unlimited internet with no price increase at 12 months. Visit att.com/no hidden fees. Limited availability in select areas.
Period 3. The third period is next. Here for a recap is Joe Brand.
Both the Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild going for their third preseason victory of the season, but right now it's in favor of Minnesota. 1-0 lead through 2 periods up in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm Joe Brand here at Blackhawks Central. It's kind of been the Kevin Lankin show. 9 saves in the second period, 17 overall as Minnesota leads in shots on goal, 20-17. How about the former Blackhawk Ryan Hartman tonight? He's won all 7 of his faceoffs in this game, but also something for the Hawks. Their first penalty kill in their last 5 tries, and a big reason of that was this big save by Kevin Lankin.
Sent it to Kaprizov, left point. Turns on Doc, wheels into the left circle, then in front, got away backhanded, and a split save made by Lankin. And I mean split. He got down in the cheerleader splits and stopped that with his left pad.
Wasn't the only impressive stop by Kevin Lankin. He also stopped Marcus Foligno on a breakaway attempt in the final minute, keeping it a 1-0 lead for the Minnesota Wild. As we send it out to John and Colby, how about the Doc brothers? They're teaming up for just a couple of shots so far as they're taking the ice for the first time tonight. Not so much the first time, John. I think what you were trying to say is the first time Kirby and Colton Doc have been on the ice and you have been in the booth. I think that's what you were trying to get at when you were talking about it earlier in the broadcast.
You know what, Joe? I'm going to go with that, and you're right. So
hey,
thank you very much.
Take that softball and go with it. Knock that thing out.
Joe threw me a life preserver, and I grabbed it. Good job, Joe. By the way, I want to correct myself on something I said earlier in the broadcast. The Metropolitan Center, the Met Center, where the North Stars used to play, was not in Minneapolis. It was in, say it with me, Bloomington. Yes. Right over by Metropolitan Stadium where the Vikings and the Twins played for so many years. And some nights, and some very cold nights and days. Here we go at the third period. Ryan Hartman to face off against Kirby Doc. Hawks only trailing by a goal, 1-0. And kind of a low shots on goal total, 20-17, favoring the Wild after 2 frames. But you wouldn't know it by the way the play has been back and forth. The teams seemingly trading chances at each end. But Joe mentioned the number of block shots by the Wild. I think that's a big factor in why the Hawks have not been able to get on the board. Underway, here's Brodin with a snap down the boards into the Hawk zone. And in the near corner now, Brandon Hagel's got the puck. Tried to flip it behind the Hawk net. Marcus Foligno ran into Murphy. Murphy put the puck around to the near side. Hagel slapped it up the boards, not out. Brodin fires from the left point. A glove save made by Lankinen. He held the puck. He had Marcus Foligno standing over top of him there. He just held on to it there. Marcus Foligno, of course, has his brother Nick now playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Both of them sons of Mike Foligno.
Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins. I'm sorry.
Bruins. I saw them playing in a preseason game, and I got to tell you, it was weird to see Nick Foligno in a Bruins jersey.
I had that image of him in the Toronto sweater, and shame on me. Yeah, Boston Bruins, that's right. So stand corrected again. Here's Murphy now, near circle, Hawk zone. Put it in behind the net. And it's taken there by McCabe. Passing up the right side, Jujar Kara, Hawk line. He'll work it back deeper into the Hawk zone to Murphy. Put it ahead, Mackenzie Entwistle crossing the Wild line. A drop pass for Kara in the right circle. He bats it down behind the net. And Entwistle gave it to Kara. Back to Entwistle through the slot. He shoots. Chest save made by Talbot. Here's the Hahn pounding one from the bottom of the left circle. Kicked out by Talbot. Follow-up chance by Entwistle. He had a stick tied up, but he works the puck free from the Wild. To Kara. Tried to flip it down to the corner. Batted away now by Hartman, who sends the puck up the boards, and all the way down the ice it goes. We're going to get icing here to the Wild.
Yeah, really good shift by the Entwistle, Hardman, and Caroline, getting a lot of offensive zone pressure. And how about Calvin DeHaan with the slapper from the bottom of the offensive zone circle? Calvin DeHaan's been really good tonight. I've noticed him making plays defensively, and one of my favorite things about DeHaan, he's got defensive patience. He understands when to attack, when not to attack, and breaks up a lot of plays with his stick, does a lot of little things that will go unnoticed.
And now the puck off the draw pops up through the air and into the glove of Cam Talbot. He'll hold it, and now the Wild will go for a line change. Face off and circle to the left of Cam Talbot. I've noticed that same thing about DeHaan. I mean, I didn't want to just fly past that point, but I've noticed the same thing about it. It seems like the game slows down for him at times. And again, Talbot smothers the puck down to the left of his crease and holds it after a short sequence of play.
Yeah, to start the game, Calvin DeHaan was paired with Ian Mitchell, and they went to Stillman and DeHaan about halfway through the second period, and I've liked this pair together. They've been solid. They've moved the puck. They've kept things moving up the ice, and you kind of nailed it. He really does slow the game down, DeHaan. He does a nice job at that.
Mitchell now paired with Jakob Galvas in behind the Wild net. Hagel digs the puck out, put it in front for Reece Johnson, and a point-blank shot kicked out by Talbot. Dillon gave it to Hagel to the right circle now for Osipov, who fires a shot, and that deflects wide. Hagel's got the puck back near the blue line, deep slot. Put it over left wing boards for Stillman. Working against two Wild players, lost the puck. Here's Zuccarello passing it ahead now. Goligoski head to Kaprizov across the Hawk line. Left wing side, ran into the aforementioned DeHaan, but then puck taken now back by the Wild. Kaprizov top of the left circle. To Zuccarello back of the net. He now leaves it in behind the net. One of the Wild players pinched off the puck back there. And that's good draw. Now the Hawks will counterattack. Here's Colton Dock reaching back for a pass at center ice that deflects off his stick into the right wing corner in the Wild zone. Then Colton Dock finishes his check on one of the Wild players. That's young defenseman Kalen Addison. He's hobbling a little bit, tried to get to the bench. Meanwhile, Adam Gaudette carried the puck back down the left wing into the Wild zone and had it knocked away. And here's Addison just making his way to the Wild bench. He's in some discomfort. A shot from Fiala now back in the Hawk zone for the left circle. Blocker save is made by Lankinen. Murphy then lost the puck back in the net to Gaudreau. Sends it out to the left point to Merrill. Sweeps it right point. And a long shot by Matthew Dumba is gloved out of the air by Kevin Lankinen. It was going wide anyway, but Lankinen didn't like what he was seeing in the Blackhawks end of the ice.
And Kirby Dock, his line, will jump over the boards here for this defensive zone face-off. Oh, excuse me. It looks like Henrik Borgstrom, Jujar Kara, and Kirby Dock. So it looks like they're mixing up the lines a little bit here. I don't know if this is just for the defensive zone draw or if they're throwing the lines in the blender to try to get a little bit of offense for the Blackhawks.
Well, Hartman wins the draw, but he wins it so decisively it tumbles all the way down into the Wild zone. Dumba carried it behind his net. Gave it to Fiala, back to Dumba. Then the puck picked off at the Wild line by Borgstrom, and as he enters the Wild zone, we get a whistle for offside.
Yeah, and I want to stay on Borgstrom. He comes into camp, and he's obviously a guy who's known for his offense, but what's impressed me about him has just been his commitment on other sides of the puck in the defensive zone, getting good body positioning, making sure his head is on a swivel defensively, and he has come to this training camp, and he hasn't scored 10 goals in preseason. He hasn't scored any, but he has actually, I stand corrected, he has one. But he has shown the management and the coaching staff of the Blackhawks that he is committed to playing in all three zones, which goes a long way for a guy who has as much skill as he does.
Yeah, you mentioned body position. If a young player coming in can just stay on the defensive side of the puck in all scrimmages and really in all situations, I think that catches the eye of management, knowing that he's got a little more of a defensive bent to his game, whoever it might be, than they first gave him credit for. Into the Hawk zone now. Here's Brodin to the slot, kicks the puck below the goal line, and then one of the Wild players, that's Beckman, ran into one of the referees who goes for a tumble behind the Hawk net, slow to get up. Here's the Honda center ice. The long slap shot misses the Wild net. Banks off the end boards. Ahead to Spurgeon, left wing at center ice, and he'll backhand it down into the Hawk crease. Lankinen guides it in behind to Stillman. Stillman then lost the puck in the far corner to Foligno, and then Foligno pushed off the puck there by Stillman as the puck is swept out to center ice by Evan Barrett. Barrett played his college hockey at Penn State. They're back in the Hawk zone again.
Local Philly kid.
Yeah. Stillman hands the puck off. Hardman now to Barrett across the Wild line. Left wing side. Put it out in front for Entwistle. And Duhane was able to reach in with a stick and lift Entwistle's stick. Now they tie up a little bit. Should get a penalty here. Jakob Galvas looked like he was tripped.
Finally.
And finally a penalty will be called. Now this won't be the infraction that happened to Jakob Galvas. One of the Wild players stuck his leg out, and that could have been bad for Jakob Galvas. It could have been one of those visits to the emergency room for some surgery.
Minnesota, number 46, minor penalty tripping.
Yeah, there could have been a couple of penalties on that play, and this will be a good opportunity with 15:08 left in the third period for the Chicago Blackhawks to get something going here on the power play. And they'll start this first power play unit with 4 forwards. Kirby Dach on the right point, Jakob Galvis on the left, Adam Gaudette, Dylan Strome, and Henrik Borgstrom.
Well, the Wild are, 11 for 11 on the penalty kill this preseason. We'll see if that stands up. Hawks control off the draw on the Sitco, the fueling good Sitco power play. Kirby Dach with the puck beside the right circle. Drops in right wing corner. Strome fed the left circle, and a snapshot from Borgstrom. And what a great save by Talbot. Boy, he flew off the left post, got over in front of the right post down in the butterfly position and made the glove save.
Yeah, good sauce pass from below the goal line by Dylan Strome. Give him credit for getting his feet up the ice, throwing it through the box, and Henrik Borgstrom, the left-handed shot on the left side, just steps into that strong side one-timer.
Hawks control out the draw. Dach, top of the right circle, shoots, he scores! It's Dylan Strome at the top of the crease. Deflects this one past Talbot. The Hawks have scored to tie on the power play. 1-1 is the score, and this is the first power play goal this preseason that the Wild have surrendered. 1-1 the score.
Shows the importance of the face-off. The Blackhawks with the clean draw out to the point, and Kirby Dach's going to end up with it right on the right point, just about where the face-off dot is, and he takes that shot pass, looking head up all the way, finds Dylan Strome on the goal, right to the left side of the goal for a redirection past Talbot, and it's a good-looking power play goal for the Blackhawks. You win the draw, you move it D to D, puck towards the net on the shot pass, and in the back of the goal, and hey, we got a 1-1 game here with under 15 to go in the third.
So each team 1 for 2 in their respective power plays, and back in the Hawk zone, the puck taken in the far corner. That by Jujhar Khaira, rolled off his stick. Murphy slaps it to the left wing boards to Hardman. Sends a tumbling puck over the blue line to center ice. The Wild get it back and now regroup in their end. Kalen Addison with a pass up ice. Deflects to the Hawk line. Hardman spun into the boards in front of the Hawks bench. That by Frederick Gaudreau of the Wild, but the Hawks get the puck back, and it's pushed down ice by Hagel to the Wild line. Addison took it back, and he shot it off the corner glass at the end of the Hawks bench. It's kind of a beveled concave curve, and the puck spun back out, deflected back out into the ice surface. We get a whistle stop in play. 13:56 left in period number 3. It's the Hawks 1 and the Wild 1. Back after this break, you're listening to Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
WGN Radio conducts a variety of contests throughout the year. Contests are void where prohibited by law. Prizes are non-transferable and cannot be exchanged for cash. Winners are responsible for all taxes associated with prizes. WGN Radio may publicize or broadcast winner names or voices. Winners are ineligible to win within 2 years of receiving prizes over $600 and within 60 days for prizes valued less than $600. Employees and their families of WGN Radio, Nexstar Media Group, and participating sponsors are disqualified. Go to WGNRadio.com/contests for complete disclaimers.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
If you've got an insurance question, you could talk to a dentist. But instead of filling you in on ways to save on your policies, he'd probably be too busy filling in that loose crown. Or you could talk to your local Geico agent, who will use their expertise to polish up your policies, from home and auto to renters, motorcycle, boat, and RV too. So while, yes, your dentist can save your smile, your Geico agent could save you money, which will make you use that smile a whole lot more. To find a Geico agent near you, visit geico.com/local.
The Blackhawks, Wildcats, and the NFL play here on AM 720. On smart speakers, say play WGN Chicago.
Some life back into the Chicago Blackhawks here with 13:56 to go in the third period. We got a 1-1 hockey game. The shots 22-24. It's been even. Most of this hockey game, it really has been even for both teams. Give the Hawks credit. They got a young lineup in, but playing smart and battling hard, John.
Well, Adam Gaudette from center ice deflects the puck down to the right wing corner in the Wild zone. Colton Orr giving chase on Jared Spurgeon. Now pushes him off the puck along the right boards, Wild end. Wild clear their end. Goligoski moving it along the left boards, Hawk zone. Dylan Strome took it away. Quick clearing attempt there by McCabe up the left wing off of Colton Dock's stick. Taken back by the Wild. Goligoski at the left point now. Here's Goligoski. Working it toward the middle of the ice in the deep slot area. Passes over the right wing board. Spurgeon to Kaprizov. High slot. Long snapshot. Chest save made by Lankin. And the rebound. Follow-up shot by Goligoski. He scores. Well, Lankin did, I think, an excellent job at stopping that first volley. It came through a screen. There were about 3 or 4 hockey players standing in front of him, and he got the chest on it but couldn't control the rebound. And Goligoski found it in the left wing circle and just fired it home. 2-1 Minnesota.
Yeah, one of the strengths of this Minnesota Wild Hockey Club is the mobility of their defensive core. And Goligoski is going to find a loose rebound right off to the left side of the net. And he's going to bury that 10 out of 10 times. This guy's been around for a long time. There's a scramble in front. Sticks are tied up, and he just finds it right off to the left of Kevin Lankinen. But, you know, nothing Lankinen could have done on this goal. I think that he makes that first save. He's trying to locate the rebound, and Goligoski gets lost in the shuffle.
Well, the goal at 6:47 of period number 3. 2-1 Minnesota. Hartman with the puck now behind the Hawk net as we rejoin the play. To Brodin left point, who fires a shot that hit Hardman in the foot. And the puck deflects down ice back into the Wild zone. Hardman will head to the Hawk bench. There the Wild attacking again. Brodin to Dumba. Wild line right wing. Back to Jonas Brodin. He shot a pass ahead that deflects up and out of play. 2-1 Minnesota.
So the Chicago Blackhawks will play the Minnesota Wild for the preseason finale on Saturday evening. And this next game preview is sponsored by Plumbers 911 Chicago. Visit plumbers911.com for emergency plumbing service.
Good tickets remain for that game, so we would encourage Hawk fans that don't have any plans for Saturday night, get on the stick, get a couple of those tickets, and get down to the United Center and see some exciting preseason hockey action. That last game of the preseason, you usually see mostly your regulars in that lineup, and it's pretty close to a regular season game as the Blackhawks net comes off of its moorings. But I would imagine we'd see Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane in the lineup. I would imagine we'll see Seth Jones. Maybe Marc-Andre Fleury gets the start unless they want to give one to Malcolm Subban, who's only had one start in the preseason. So a lot to decide yet by management, but they'll have some tough decisions to make out of this camp.
Yeah, and every couple days the level gets turned up, the speed, the physicality, these things all raise every 3-4 days of training camp, and I think we're seeing that tonight. And you mentioned it, for Saturday night, this is going to be a dress rehearsal for opening night where the speed and the physicality will be as close to a regular season game as it can.
Now the Wild attacking again in front of the net. This is Foligno trying to jam it on goal. Nice play by Lankinen to get in front of that with the pads and then cover the puck to the paint of the crease with his glove. So we get a whistle with 12:09 now left in period number 3. 2-1 Minnesota.
A lot of big bodies up front for the Minnesota Wild, and they're not afraid to go to the net. And Marcus Foligno battling with Jakob Galvez. And Galvez isn't going to stand down to anyone. He's a little bit smaller than Foligno, but he's played a lot of pro hockey over in Europe and the Czech Republic. A very good hockey league over there, and it shows. He's had a great camp.
There's a pass now from Evan Barrett, Hawk line right wing, rink wide pass it goes. Jujar Kara down the left wing to the corner, Wild end, leaves it there for Reece Johnson. To Kara, back in the net. Here's Kara carrying it around toward the right wing corner. Sets up the right point, Mitchell, long wrist shot, deflect just wide. Reece Johnson got a stick in there. Frederick Gaudreau with the puck, drops it in beside the Wild net. And Beckham will take it there. Send it behind into the near corner to Merrill. He'll pass ahead to the Hawk line. Evan Barrett there to get it for the Hawks. To Reece Johnson at the end of his shift. He'll lift the puck now down in behind the Wild net. And the Hawks will get a new 5 out there. In behind the Wild net, John Merrill with the puck. Passing ahead, Kevin Fiala, center ice. Works it in across the rink over the Hawk line to the right wing corner to Spurgeon. He sends it behind the Hawk net. Fiala there. Fiala spinning off a check. Sets up Boldy, bottom of the left circle. Whips it behind the net. Fiala now to the right wing boards and right point. Bothered there by Kirby Dach, who lifts Fiala's stick repeatedly and forces him to turn over the puck to center ice, where he went back and got it. Spurgeon again into the Hawks zone, right point, put it in front. Fiala shoots it, hit the post. Oh, Lankin went down in the butterfly position. Might have gotten a piece of it, but that one hit iron. Hawks catch a break. Here's Hagel now down in the Wild zone, right corner. The Galvis right point, sends it toward the net, and it redirected in on goal by Kara. Kicked out of there with the left pad from Talbot.
That's one of those redirections where the goaltender's going left. It gets redirected right, but he's just able to get his toe out and keep this 2-1 for the Wild.
Now the battle in front of the Hawks bench for the puck. Jakob Galvis in there, working it free to Brandon Hagel. He had it knocked off his stick deep into the Hawk zone. Eriksson Ek and Murphy racing in to get it. Murphy got there first to the inboard. Pokes it away, far corner. And McCabe will whip it across the rink to Murphy. Then ahead, Hardman at center ice to Kara. He's into the Wild zone and pumps one in from the left circle. Kicked out by Talbot. Hardman finishing his check in the left wing corner on the Wild. And now Kaprizov will carry behind his net, then out. Kirill Kaprizov dropping it off to Dumba, Wild line. To Brodin, Hawk line to Eriksson Ek over the line. From the left point, sent it across, off the corner boards, out to the right point. Dumba fires, blocked by Jake McCabe. Put it ahead, Mackenzie Entwistle crossing the Wild line. Dropping it now to Hardman, top of the left circle. Let's go, a shot. Dumba blocked it. Loose puck to the left wing corner. Entwistle worked it free, now in behind the Wild net. And then ties up one of the Wild players in the near corner. That's Zuccarello, who then is able to free the Wild zone by getting the puck to Kaprizov. He turned it over at the Hawk line to Ian Mitchell. Mitchell back skating down to the corner. Will stick it up the left blast to center ice. Merrill for the Wild played it back into the Hawk zone. Mitchell to get it. To Calvin DeHaan, who runs into a check for Marcus Foligno. Bailing him out on the play, though, was Ian Mitchell. Quick pass on the right wing, Strome. He's in over the Wild line to the right circle. Pulls up and fires. That's blocked. And now the puck taken by DeHaan with a smart play along the high slot area. Pokes to the near side. Taken away by Merrill. Headman pass here into the Hawk zone. Hartman down the slot with a backhand shot. Turned out of there by Lankin. And now Hartman has to retreat with the puck to center ice and starts up over the center ice circle. Gave it to Foligno over the Hawk line to Duhane. He'll spin it in behind the Hawk net. There to get it, Hartman to Merrill, top of the left wing circle. Now to the high slot, and the one-time snapshot there off the stick of Kalen Addison blocked. Wild get it back. Foligno sets up Addison, top of the right circle.
That should have been a penalty.
Yep.
Should have been an interference call against Dylan Strome.
Absolutely. Addison lets it rip from the high slot area. This deflects up into the protective netting and out of play. 8:10 left in the third. 2-1 Minnesota. Back after this break on 720 WGN.
Siraj. Give us 4 hours in the morning and we'll ask, don't you work?
Arby's Chicken Cheddar Ranch sandwiches are 2 for $6 every day of the week. For some people, just hearing the words ranch and chicken are enough to make them want 2 of them for $6. Well, okay then. Ranch, 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 creamy ranch, cool ranch, ranch. Chicken, chicken. 2 for $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Join Indiana Donor Network Foundation Saturday, October 9th at the Walk to Save Lives in downtown Indianapolis. The Walk to Save Lives honors the thousands of Hoosiers who have given the gift of life through organ and tissue donation and raises money to support families affected by donation and transplantation. This family-friendly event along the downtown canal features music, food, drinks, and more. Register today and start raising funds to support this cause. Learn more at indianadonornetwork.org/walks. That's indianadonornetwork.org/walks.
Welcome back into the XL Energy Center, and it's 2-1 Minnesota. This game is getting physical. There's been a couple of scrums after the whistles. I think guys are starting to really bear down. There's 8 minutes left to go, and a lot of these players won't get another opportunity to impress management. So it's now or never, Johnny.
Absolutely. From the draw, the Wild control. Matt Boldy along the left boards, Hawk zone. Hands it off now. Frederick Gaudreau twisting and turning to the half boards. Fed it back to the point. And Goligoski fired. That was blocked back out to center ice. Goligoski grabs the puck, backing into the Wild zone. Sends it to center ice. Fiala to Boldy over the Hawk line left wing. Fed it through into the left circle. And Murphy pokes that away to the corner. Murphy then scrapes the puck up the right side. Picked off by Osipov at the Hawk blue line. He tried to work it ahead at center ice. He batted off his stick into the Hawk end. Back to get it, Ian Mitchell. University of Denver product will carry behind the Hawk net stop and have a look as the Hawks complete a line change.
And the Blackhawks getting into that set breakout where Kirby Dach's going to come off the bench and get the puck behind the net. And here he goes.
Dach through center ice, crossing a Wild line down the left wing, stopping in the corner, fed it out in front, picked off by Gaudreau. He'll move it ahead now to Boldy at center ice. Massachusetts native will dump the puck off the right corner boards in the Hawk end. Galvis back to claim it behind the net. The Kirby Dach right wing center ice. Strip to the puck. Look out, Rossi the other way into the Hawk zone to the slot. Shoots! That's just wide of the net. Lankinen may have gotten a piece of it. Wild get it back inside the Hawk zone. Brodin at the left point. Put it into the high slot now. Bjugstad. He'll send it down the boards and in behind the Hawk net. Galvis gave it a ride around up the left wing side. And the other way come the Hawks. Borgstrom headman pass. Hagel into the Wild zone. Deeks. Oh, and he got hooked on the play by Matthew Dumba and slides into the corner boards. And let's see, is this going to be a penalty shot?
Yep.
Or is this going to be just a 2-minute minor against Dumba?
It's a penalty shot. He pointed right away.
Minnesota penalty fouled from behind. Hooking. Chicago's been awarded a penalty shot.
There it is.
What a pass by Henrik Borgstrom to send Hagel. A perfect sauce pass through the neutral zone. And Brandon Hagel dekes out Talbot, gets hooked down, and one of the most exciting plays in hockey, the penalty shot.
Sure is.
6:31 in the third. This would be a huge way for the Blackhawks to get this thing even up at 2.
Hagel claims the puck at center ice. Carries it in over the Wild line on the left wing to the slot. Digs, and shoots. He scores! A penalty shot goal for Brandon Hagel. And that'll tie the game at 2 with 6:31 left in the third. And he earned it.
Oh, did he ever. Coming in slow down the left side and goes for the magic wand where he fakes the puck over top his stick and waves it over the puck. Cam Talbot bites. He stays on his forehand and dunks the puck high up into the left side of the net. Big goal for the Blackhawks. Big play out of Henrik Borgstrom and Brandon Hagel.
Hagel penalty shot goal at 13:29 of period number 3. And this one's got overtime written all over it in my book.
Oh, come on,
Colby. I don't know if you're into the extra sessions here, but it's hockey. I could do this ad nauseum. Inside the Hawk zone. Here's a shot now from the right wing corner by Merrill. Looked like it hit Lankinen on the mask maybe and deflected behind the net. Murphy will fire it down ice to the Wild line. Hardman's got the puck down center ice. The Jujar Kara at the Wild line right wing. He flips it down to the right wing corner to himself. He was able to beat Addison to the puck. And Kara pokes the puck free now from the corner behind the Wild net. It goes to Entwistle. And Entwistle lost the puck to Eriksson Ek along the right sideboards. He and Entwistle engage in a battle, and Eriksson Ek goes down. The Wild take the puck back. John Merrill, a Connecticut native, in behind the Wild net as the Wild earn a line change. Merrill stepping out, moving it to Addison. He's to center ice on the right wing and drives it down the boards into the Hawk zone. Circles the net, ends up along the near side. Duhaime will put it in behind the Hawk net. This wraps around up the far side, taken by the Hawks. Here's Gaudette into the Wild zone. Rips a shot for the right wing boards over the net and off the glass. And now a battle at the Hawk line between DeHaan and Hartman. Hawks get the puck back. And as Colton Dach circles in front of the Hawk net with the puck, he backhands it off the boards down to the Wild line, loses his edge and falls down. Meanwhile, back in the Hawk zone, DeHaan far corner. Tried to pass it through the circle, picked off by Foligno. Taken back by the Wild. Kaprizov to Foligno left point. Moves it right point, Spurgeon. Now down to Goligoski. Dispersion coming by. Fed it out in front. This is past Hartman out to the left point. And the puck is spun back toward the corner by Goligoski. Taken by Colton Dock, who kicks it to center ice. The Hawks may be assessed with a too many men on the ice penalty. No, both referees missed it. Hawks run a line change and some confusion for sure at the bench. At the wild line, Dumbo whacks the puck free off the left wing boards, deep into the Hawks zone to the corner. Galvas there. Put it behind the net to Stillman. Around it goes to Hardman along the left boards, and he'll send it off the shelf and out to center ice. Wild get the puck back. 4 minutes left in the third. 2-2. Now the puck taken back by the Hawks at center ice. Hardman to Johnson over the Wild line. He lets it rip from the right circle, and a butterfly save made by Talbot. He'll hold it for a whistle. 3:54 left in regulation. 2-2 the score. Are we going to overtime? Find out after this break. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Imagine a fast food rib sandwich. No, stop! Not that one! Please stop! Now instead, imagine a very real country-style rib sandwich. Smoked pork ribs, Gouda. Whoa! Pretty freaky that you're somehow imagining the exact same rib sandwich Arby's has right now for a limited time. Imagine that. Arby's, we have the meat.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Come into Bell Tire today. You'll get the lowest tire price, period. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. You'll also get a guy who will give you free lifetime flat repairs, tire rotations, and alignment checks. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. Plus more free services and more out of your tires and more for your money. It's how we make the lowest tire price feel even lower at Bell Tire. See store and belltire.com for details and offer expiration.
My crusade for the perfect pizza crust has led me here, pining over a backyard wood-fired oven. But how do I bake this build into my budget? Where can I get some solid guidance on my finances? Who can help me understand if I have the dough for this?
A little financial advice. At Regions, we know that's important because your Life Green checking account comes with Greenprint, financial planning with a banker who will help you create a personal budget and live in the moment. Make your appointment at regions.com/Greenprint. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Bob Surratt with the answers in the morning on smart devices everywhere and on 720.
Now back to the game.
Welcome back into a tie game, 2-2, with 3 minutes and 54 seconds left in the third period. Brandon Hagel getting the the penalty shot goal. You don't see a ton of them. We see a lot of them in the shootouts, but you don't see a ton. And made no mistake to get the Blackhawks back knotted at 2.
I think Jeremy Colleton made note of that penalty shot by Brandon Hagel for the next upcoming shootout, whenever that is. That's a pretty good move.
Good opportunity for growth here for the Blackhawks.
Gaudreau into the Hawk zone to Boldy down the right wing side, and from the bottom of the right wing circle, let go backhand, knocked out by Lankin with the stick. Now at the right point, Kevin Fiala bothered by Kirby Dock, who with that long reach poke checks the puck to center ice, forcing the Wild to regroup. Hawk go for a line change. Here's Fiala through center ice and across the Hawk line. Gave it to Boldy near the left point, run into by Jujhar Khaira, and then the puck is worked free to center ice. Addison will fire it off the glass, and down behind the Hawk net it goes into the near corner. Murphy is able to work the puck free to Khaira, and then it's taken away by Fiala, and from the doorstep he dekes and fires wide. Meantime, Matt Boldy is down, crawling back to the Wild bench. He's in some obvious pain, and his left leg, oh man, that doesn't look too good. Youngster Matt Boldy. Meantime, Hartman back in the Wild zone. Turns and fires from the slot. Blocker save made by Talbot. See if we can get you an update on the condition of Matt Boldy.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
Oh. Here in the Hawk zone. Here's a shot from Bukestad from beside the net. And down is Lankinen with a butterfly save. In the meantime, behind the play, Rossi is knocked down by Calvin DeHaan as he got a little too close to the Hawk crease.
And I'll go back to what I was trying to talk about as they went in on the attack. And this is a growth opportunity for the Blackhawks. Kevin Lankinen making a nice save to end that last play. But you came back to tie the game at 2. There's 2.5 minutes left. You're playing an older, more experienced roster. So this is an opportunity for the Hawks to learn how to win a hockey game. This is a tough situation. you're playing against, like I said, a team that has more skill in their lineup tonight, John. So if you can get through this and you start to have the belief with some of the guys playing, then you can build off that as you move into the regular season.
Absolutely. From the draw, Murphy from beside the Hawk net whips the puck in behind to Strome on the near boards. He sent it back in behind. McCabe sends it up the left wing to Hagel. Now to Reece Johnson coming by at center ice. He'll dump the puck into the left wing corner wild zone. Hagel there battling with Matt Zuccarello. Zuccarello wedges the puck back in behind the wild net. Johnson in a battle with Goligoski in the near corner. Eriksson came along and took the puck to Zuccarello, far corner. Put it across the rink. And now it's taken out by Kaprizov to center ice. To Zuccarello in over the Hawk line left wing. Back to Kaprizov, back to Zuccarello, now behind the net. Squeezes a pass into the near corner where Hardman was able to put his body in front of Kaprizov and make sure he didn't get to the puck. Kirby Dach will. Through center ice and over the wild line, down the right wing to the corner. Squeezed into the boards by Brodin. Dach spins it behind the net. Away goes into the far corner. Now Dach wedges it free from Zuccarello. Put it to the left point. Here's Henrik Borgstrom walking it through the high slot, hands it off to Stillman, and he'll let one rip from the right wing boards. And Talbot is down with a butterfly save.
Yeah, good play by Henrik Borgstrom, who's controlling the puck along the offensive blue line. And Stillman, the right side defenseman, notices Borgstrom creeping into his lane. So what does he do? He jumps down into the offensive zone. He's hanging out right around the hash marks, and Borgstrom feeds one diagonal from the deep slot down to Stillman, who shoots the one-timer on goal and forces Talbot to make a good save.
So it's Kirby Dach facing off for the Hawks. He got it to Zuccarello, and from the top of the right circle, he let it rip. And again, Talbot makes the save, this time with his chest. Holds on, and Kirby Dach will face off again here. Kirby's been winning some draws, and Ryan Hartman, you talked about his face-off success earlier in the game. He was able to beat Hartman there. Now Joel Eriksson will take the draw. Face-off circle to the left of Cam Talbot. And this time Eriksson wins this face-off. Put the puck in behind the wild net. Dumba chased out of there by Gaudette. Moves it along the near boards. Picked off by Zuccarello as the wild player Brodin had fallen down. Now Dumba escapes with the puck. Here's Matthew Dumba, 10 feet inside the wild blue line as we get the announcement for a minute left in regulation. Dumba now to Brodin, left wing center ice, firing it down the boards into the Hawk zone. Polino on the other side of the rink, snaps the puck back in behind the net into the near corner. Riley Stillman battling with Ryan Hartman there. Up the boards it goes to Duhaime, then across now. Brodin sends it over to Dumba. Into the right circle for Foligno, who then put it to the end boards in behind the Hawk net. And Brandon Duhaime was battling there with one of the Hawks. Ian Mitchell took the puck away. Clears it ahead at center ice to Adam Gaudette. He'll send it down, and now we're going to get a whistle and a penalty coming up here. 20 seconds left in regulation. Let's see what we get.
Yeah, the Blackhawks are going to go on the power play to finish this third period. Looks like Ryan Hartman heading over to the box. We'll see what the refs got him on.
Minnesota number 38, 2-minute minor high stick.
Ooh. All right, so the Blackhawks will be 5-on-4 the last 20 seconds. Then we'll move into overtime where the Blackhawks will start 4-on-3 in overtime. Hopefully it doesn't get there. Kirby Dach lining up on the right point. 4 forwards for the Blackhawks.
Hawks third Sitco feeling good Sitco power play. They control off the draw. Here's Jakob Galvis left point to Dach right point with 12. Dach closing in, petted across, and it's deflected on the rebound, and Adam Gaudette fires a backhand that deflects up into the protected net, and Gaudette looks skyward after that shot as if to say, how did I miss that shot?
Kirby Dach fed one across the box to Henrik Borgstrom, who is crashing, and I'll be honest with you, Johnny, I don't think it would have counted if it went in originally, because it looked like a little soccer kick out of Henrik Borgstrom, but Gaudette, right on the top of the crease, gets to bang away at a rebound that forces Talbot to make a save and ends up into the netting, and another offensive zone draw for the Hawks.
Strome with a clean face-off win to Galvis right point. Down to Dach along the right wing boards. Put it to the right circle for Borgstrom, and he could not get a shot away. You hear the horn in the background. Regulation ends, and the sides tied at 2, and so now we head to overtime. And as Colby accurately explained it. It's going to be a 4-on-3 advantage for the Blackhawks for at least the next minute and 40 seconds of OT, and barring a power play goal to end the game until the first whistle after the penalty time elapses, the Blackhawks will stay in that advantage. Well, they'll have 4 men anyway, and then Hartman will be allowed from the box, and then they'll reset after the first whistle.
All in all, though, an impressive job by the Chicago Blackhawks. There was a lot of bend without breaking moments. They weathered different storms. Kevin Lankin played a really solid game for the Blackhawks. And, hey, sometimes you need your goaltender to make some big saves. A lot of bright spots in this game tonight. And Henrik Borgstrom really impressed me. We talked about how his game has really developed into this 200-foot player that Stan Bowman and the Chicago Blackhawks were hoping to see. And if you're Jeremy Colleton, you have a handful of players who can do a lot of things for you. But when you have these guys who can produce offensively that you trust on the defensive side of the puck, well, like he told me earlier, he's going to sleep better at night when he looks at the depth and when he looks at this roster.
Now, to get you caught up on the scoring, Strome scored at 5:19 of the third from Doc and Galvis on a Hawks power play to tie the score at 1. Minnesota retook the lead at 6:47. Goligoski scoring from Zuccarello and Joel Eriksson-Ek to make it 2-1 Minnesota. And then a penalty shot goal from Brandon Hagel. This came at the 13:29 mark, Penalty shot goal for Hagel. His first goal of the preseason, and 2-2 is where she stands after regulation.
Jakob Galvas will be the lone defenseman on this 4-on-3 power play for the Blackhawks with Kirby Dach, Dylan Strome, and Henrik Borgstrom.
Now we start overtime. The Wild control back in the Wild zone. Spurgeon winds up with the puck and fires it off the left wing boards and down. Stopped by Lankin in for Galvis, who skates out and nearly turned it over tops of the circle's Hawk zone, but Borgstrom right there to pick it up. To Kirby Dach, through center ice and over the Wild line to the right wing corner. Bothered with the stick of Brodin, but the puck is spun around by Spurgeon, kept in by Strome left point. And then Strome has to retreat to center ice with the puck, flip it back to Galvis at the Hawk line. 1:06 left on the Hawk power play. Here's Doc into the Wild zone left point. Moves it across. Borgstrom, right circle. Strome to Galvis, high slot. To Borgstrom, top of the right wing circle. Henrik Borgstrom, acquired in that trade with the Florida Panthers last year, to Jakob Galvis in the high slot. He'll carry it over top of the left wing circle. Give it to Borgstrom. Back to Galvis. To the right circle, Doc closing in. He'll fake, put it behind the net. Now put it out in front, and it's just over the stick of Galvis and down ice into the Hawk zone. Oh, one of the Hawk players, Strome, was waving at that pass, and I believe it hopped over his stick. That would have been the end of the game right there. Doc into the Wild zone to Strome, right point to Galvis, closing down the slot over to Borgstrom. He shoots from the left circle, high and wide of the net. Puck rides around to the right point. Strome will backhand it down to the right wing corner, then in behind the Wild net to Doc. Hawks changing up their personnel. Puck turned over by Doc, and the Wild will get it and come back up ice. Here's Gaudreau crossing the Hawk line on the right wing, cutting back and then carrying back over the blue line back to center ice as the Wild are now back to full strength. So the sides will be 4-on-4 until the next whistle as Hartman's out of the box. McCabe with the puck for the Hawks behind the Hawk net to Murphy on the right wing side at the Hawk line. Murphy carrying ahead to center ice, sends it down the boards in behind the Wild net. Around it goes into the left wing corner. McCabe is there. And kicks it free to Adam Gaudette. Gaudette working it free in the corner, trying to give it to McCabe. Fiala took the puck away, then McCabe knocked it free, but Fiala took it back. A 3-on-1 break for the Wild, led by Fiala down the left wing Hawk zone. He fires! That's wide of the net, around the boards, and back down into the Wild end. John Merrill back skating with it between the circles. Will start up from there. Now Matt Dumba, circle to the right of Talbot, will carry the puck to center ice. Behind the back pass to Fiala. Fiala wheeling in over the Hawk line, left wing to Dumba in the high slot. Let it rip, he scores! Matthew Dumba with the game-winning goal in overtime. The goal at 2:34 of OT gives the Wild the 3-2 win.
Yeah, an unfortunate ending to a good, solid outing by the Chicago Blackhawks. And going back to the open of this game, we talked about the difference in the rosters and the way that they looked. You had the young Blackhawks with a lot of prospects playing tonight against a pretty veteran lineup. But I give the Hawks a lot of credit. They battled hard. They stayed involved in this hockey game, and they gave themselves a chance to win. They walk away with 1 point. Sometimes you're not going to get them all, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like last night against the St. Louis Blues, the Wild win at home in overtime. And the score 3-2 in favor of Minnesota, who now see their record climb to 3-2-1, while with this overtime loss, the Blackhawks record now stands for the preseason at 2-1-2.
Yeah, and this game was a little bit different because it was a team effort type of game. There wasn't a lot of, razzle-dazzle to this game. This was a good defensive effort, but when it comes to picking the Ditch Witch Midwest player of the game, I'm going to go with Kevin Lankin, and he made a lot of good saves, made a lot of timely saves early in this game. Things could have gotten a little bit stretched out, but he made all the plays and all the saves when the Blackhawks needed him to. And that's sponsored by Ditch Witch Midwest. Since 1970, Ditch Witch Midwest has been your partner for trenchers, cable plows, and directional drills. Visit ditchwitchmidwest.com.
All right, the final score here in the XL Energy Center was the Wild 3 and the Hawks 2 in overtime. We'll tell you more about it right after we take this break. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Easy, pure, and wildly unhurried. Introducing Dos Primos Tequila, a smooth sipping Blanco forged by me, Thomas Rhett, and my cousin Jeff Warren. Handcrafted to be shared with those who know you best. It's sure to make anywhere feel like home. Visit DosPrimosTequila.com to find it near you. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Dos Primos Tequila Company, St. Louis, Missouri. 40% alcohol by volume.
Most people don't think about their car battery until their car doesn't start. But if you think about it now and get a free battery test at Advance Auto Parts, you can avoid all that pain. And if you do need a new battery, DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery, is right there. DieHard is reliable, durable, and powerful. So, good thinking. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
If you're struggling with alcohol or drugs, Recovery Centers of America can help. RCA's local inpatient and outpatient programs are founded on science and delivered with heart from an expert caring team who will inspire and guide you every step of the way. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now to speak with a treatment advisor. At RCA, you'll be in a community that builds connections and fosters support from peers and their team of medical professionals and recovery support specialists. At Recovery Centers of America's state-of-the-art campus in Indianapolis, they tailor your treatment to you and also offer specialized programs like PRIZE, a unique program for people who are experiencing a relapse, first responders, a confidential program for first responders and military, and a program for LGBTQIA+ patients who wish to seek treatment without worry of stigmas. Recovery Centers of America answers the phone and accepts patients 24/7, and because it's in network with insurance providers, treatment is affordable. Don't wait. Call 1-888-RECOVERY today.
The lady who's working hard to enrich your life, Anna Duplantis. Weekdays 1 to 4. Now, back to the game.
John Weideman and Colby Cohen up here at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, where the final score tonight was the Wild 3 and the Blackhawks 2. Earlier in the broadcast, I picked as my Marquette Bank player to watch here tonight. I picked Kevin Lankin, and turned out I had a pretty good pick there. Kevin Lankin was pretty solid in goal for the Blackhawks here tonight. He let in 3 goals in the game. Sure he did, but he stopped 28 of 31, and he kept the Blackhawks in it in that second period when the Wild were putting a lot of pressure on the Blackhawks in. And Lankin came up big a number of times, and I think he made a pretty strong case for himself for inclusion on the final roster here. That ultimately is decided by Blackhawks management, certainly not me, but I felt he played a pretty strong game here tonight. The Blackhawks gave him a little bit of goal support. They did register a power play goal, Dylan Strome scoring from Doc and Galvis early in the third period to break that streak by the Minnesota Wild, but they went to overtime and the Wild eventually prevailed. The Hawks were on a power play to start overtime, but just could not put anything past their goaltender, Cam Talbot. The Wild win. 3-2 is the final score in overtime. These two teams will get together again on Saturday at the United Center. We're going to move it along. I want to thank everybody involved with this broadcast here tonight, starting with my partner for the evening, Colby Cohen. Great job by Colby with the color. Special thanks to our Hall of Fame engineer, the great Wayne Selly. They don't come any finer than Wayne Selly. Thank you very much, Wayne. Great job by you. Big thanks as well to the Hawk fans that did travel up here to St. Paul, Minnesota, or maybe you were already here, but there were some at the game, and if you're going home right now or wherever you're going, please drive safely. Save our final thanks of the night for Joe Brand. He got us through the Blackhawks intermissions, and he's going to get you through the final post-game show, or the post-game show anyway, or the final segment of the evening, the Bitcoin post-game show. I failed to mention our sponsor in the last broadcast, so I did that here tonight. One more time, that final score, the Wild 3 and the Hawks 2. For everybody I mentioned, I'm John Weideman from the XL Energy Center.